And so the number one thing that I suggest you do is start to think about the customer experience first. Seems simple, but it's an important mantra as you think about interacting with external customers and internal departments. I use these two customer axioms, and it's the first thing I think of when I walk in the office every day. Know that the customer experience is the brand no matter what anyone says. And also think about the solutions you deliver and use this idea: hide the technology, surface the work. Make it easy for customers to do business with you. Make it easy for internal departments to interact with the IT organization. Hide the technology, surface the work is a good way to think about that. So number two, get immersed in customers' environments. When you think about company strategy, strategic initiatives that drive the strategy, your company's products and services, and the consumers that use those products and services, all of that is intertwined and inseparable. So they all work together. And the best way to see how that's actually operating out in the field is to get out in the field and see firsthand with your own eyes and hear with your own ears how products are engaging with you and your company. And what you're going to learn there will be profound. And you'll discover ways where you can make it easier for customers to do business with you, and that'll ultimately drive engagement. And that's, at the end of the day, what we want to do. So let me talk about two simple examples of where that worked for me. And these are not high-tech, gee whiz sort of examples, but this is the kind of stuff you'll see when you get out in the field. At Red Wing, we decided that we'd spend time in our retail stores. We have some 500 in North America. We didn't go to all of them, but we went to enough of them to realize that we saw some common problems. When a retail customer was in our store and then we were out of stock in that particular store, what would happen is the store manager would flip over to their desktop computer and send a broadcast email out to all of the other retail stores while that customer sat on the other side of the counter saying, "Who's got this product?" Well, it occurred to us that that's not the kind of customer experience we wanted our Red Wing shoe company or shoe customers to enjoy. And so we said, gee, we've got this data in the database. Why don't we create a search engine that lets that store manager search all of the stores on the enterprise and return back a result sorted by zip code closest to store with stores that had that inventory. Along with that, we included the store manager's name and phone number and email address. So when we delivered that solution about 30 days after our field research, the retail operations group and store managers thought we had invented sliced bread. But that had been the way we operated for some 20-some years before we went out and saw that for ourselves. We found many other problems much like that. While I was CIO at one of the largest accounting firms in the US, the largest mid-market accounting firm, we did a similar exercise. We went out on 25 audits across the United States to see how our technology was being used when we're delivering audit services to our customers. We discovered so many amazing things that it was overwhelming, quite frankly. One of the things we observed is that the chief technology that these folks used was an old Lotus Notes Domino server, basically, that they connected all of the audit team to, and it would crash 2 or 3 times during the day, and they'd lose an hour to 2 hours. This was at the height of Sarbanes-Oxley, which our head of audit called the Auditor's Full Employment Act. And that's not a good time to have that happen. Plus, turnover was substantially high. Also, revenue opportunities lost. So when we asked the audit team, why have you lived with this? Why haven't you asked for help? Their response was, well, we have. The help desk said nothing could be done, and so they developed a laminated instruction sheet on how to reboot the Domino server and get everyone back on track. So of course we figured out that there's this thing called wireless networks, and there's this cloud thing out there, and we can connect you, and we fixed that problem. But we had so many other issues that we uncovered there that we were trying to figure out a way to get our executive teams to digest that. So what sprung from that is this notion of the power of pictures. So this very same example that I just told you about, we drew a picture, a cartoon picture, and there were many of these little vignettes that we shared with our executive teams. And in the pictures, it depicted real-world examples with real quotes from real people. We didn't have to make this stuff up. We had customers looking in at our audit rooms when they would see this massive cords and paper, and they would literally say, "What a mess, how do they get anything done?" And you can see the quotes from employees. When we showed our executive teams this very same information, they were embarrassed. They were moved to action because they felt the pain that not only our customers were feeling, but our own employees were feeling. So those pictures really worth more than 1,000 words. While we were at it, we said, look, if you make the investments to overcome the problems, you'll see, here's what nirvana looks like, here's a better tomorrow. So we gave them the before and after pictures, much like on one of those home network shows, so that they could see what their investment might look like. So you've got to give them both a feeling of what the pain is, and then give them a glimpse of the future. And that was our technique to get a lot of investments funded that we got invested throughout the course of my career there. And so use pictures to describe what you're seeing out there in the field. It's amazing.